Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
people say, Dan, how are you still single? And I say, well, I'm busy making maps. I haven't got time to speak to women. I've got to, plot routes.
Hello there, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager Therapy. I am your host, Rich Owens. Joining me today, if you're watching this, you can already see, but if you're listening to this, here's a surprise. We've got D. D is here. Of course, D is here. Hi, D. Hello,
Hello,
darling.
mate.
Hello, mate. And for the visual viewers below us on the screen, you will see we've got another bloody guest. We cannot stop booking guests at the moment. This one is no exception. Josh Ay1ward. Josh, how are you, buddy? Welcome to podcast. Lovely to have you. How are
I'm
you,
very
bud?
well. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, mate, anytime. Anytime. I mean, big congratulations to Dee for arranging this. Really, I was just told Dee had reached out to you, and I went, yes, please, let's have Josh on pod. So all you.
It had to be done. Had to be done. He's a lovely man. He does wonderful streams. He's cute as a button.
Blushing
Isn't
already.
he, though? Isn't he, though? What a
I think the
sweetie.
podcast should just be us just looking at him.
We could. Yeah. We'll just set
And the
what,
remainder, I'll be very red now.
what we're going to do, Josh, we're just going to set you off on a tangent and we're just going to sit here just gazing at you. Look at
You
him.
can just sing for the remainder.
What a handsome boy. For the people that are listening or watching that have not experienced you or one of your streams before, Josh, the floor is yours. Tell the people who you are and what you're all about.
Well, no pressure. On the spot. No,
No pressure at all.
So, as you said, I'm Josh, known as Ay1ward, A1. I'm not sure. I've been called worse. I'm happy with anything really. But I am. I stream. I put YouTube videos out. I've been in and out of this sort of game, if you'd call it, for many a year. I have recently returned. It's been since I think October now, when I've chanced my hand in the Football Manager world, and yeah, just thoroughly enjoying it. And it's the sort of most consistent I've ever been when it comes to content and things, regularly streaming, regularly putting out videos and things like that, but just having a thoroughly good time.
Lovely stuff. So you say you've been around the game for a while, as in Football Manager. I mean, how deep are we going with your Football Manager experience, Josh? Are we talking Champ Manager days?
Not quite for me, no. I feel like I'm a little bit later down the line than a lot of people I've spoke to in Football Manager. For me, Football Manager specifically was really, I want to say 2007. I reckon 2007, 2008 is probably my first Football Manager. I mean, really football management games. The earliest I remember was more LMA Manager, and that was more on the PS2. Sort of,
Classic.
dealing with whatever type of Swindon team they could include in that. It wasn't really quite as in depth as it is now, but Football Manager sort of, like I say, I think it was about 2007, 2008. I moved over. I sort of had it on a terrible computer that barely ran the game. But the first one I really sort of played properly that I do remember, I want to say it's 2008. But it was actually on a PSP. Do you remember the PSP? The handheld. So I think I played the light version of the game, which I didn't realize till many years later. I think probably wasn't quite the PC equivalent. But no, that was my earliest memory of taking it seriously and not quitting and reloading and all of that stuff you do when you're playing these games as a kid and you think it's all about winning. I've lost the feel of that. That's for sure. But yeah, it was on the PSP, and that was I remember taking Histon. It was to many a Champions League glory. That's my sort of early memories.
See, I love that. First of all, I love a console port, so it's really nice to have somebody like on the pod that has got that experience of playing it, just not on a PC. Because again, I was for a long time because I didn't own a laptop till I was in my mid-20s. So my FM experiences were, for a fair few years, Xbox 360 based, which was it was weird. It was clunky. Weirdly enough, didn't really suit an Xbox controller. Does Football Manager?
No.
No, not quite as intuitive. But I love somebody who's got that console port experience. So solidarity, brother. We've been there. We've lived through the hard times, and now
I just wish I wish that PSP had touchscreen.
Oh, don't we all? Don't we?
Yeah.
Different universe we live in now. If it did, because it just would have been the only console anybody ever wanted to play. Oh, see, I love that. I love a bit of that. And
Big
you say
love for
more
the
so.
LMA as well.
Oh,
Big love for
especially
the
for
LMA.
Yeah.
Especially for LMA.
Loved the menu music.
Yes. Fond memories. Yeah.
Yeah. It's ingrained in me. I wouldn't be surprised if I accidentally rip it off at some point in a song.
That might letter M, I think. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Just sample it.
Yeah. Hands Open by Snow. LMA 2007. Hands Open by Snow Patrol. That is just that's in there forever. Like as somebody who isn't a huge Snow Patrol enjoyer, I'm not adverse to Snow Patrol, but I'll never say. I tell you what, I really wish somebody was playing some Snow Patrol in my house right now. But that song, just every time I hear it, it just makes me want to design my own stadium in a console Football Manager game.
Of course, it was the kits, it was the stadium.
Yeah, get it all
Biggest
in there.
stadium you could make. Level option 20 for all of them, and then you go, how much would it cost? 500 million. Well, we don't have that.
No,
We don't have that at Barnet.
no
Of course
one's
we
here.
don't.
Yeah.
No, I mean we could build it, but we could never sign anybody ever, or just we using there was the phone number in the back of the manual you could call and you could get the codes for LMA Manager, and you had to it was like hotline. It was like £1.50 a minute, and then we go for infinite transfer budget. The code is A. £3.
£3. Yeah.
My parents are going to see this on the phone bill. P, and then you could get the infinite budget for the stadium. I would build stadiums that just didn't work together because you had like a stadium, it was like 20 default stadium options. North Stand, option 3. East Stand, option 17. One of them had this really weird blue plexiglass dome over the top of it, and I would put that at the most awkward end. And then when you're playing matches, it just looked horrible. And I was like, but I've paid for this, and I feel like if I don't
You've got to
do
get your money's worth.
I've wasted I wasted
that.
my money. I wasted my money.
Worth the phone bill.
Exactly. Can we just bin off the Football Manager chat and just talk about LMA Manager instead? Because oh my goodness gracious me.
I wish my memory was as in depth as yours here. Yeah, this is rolling back the years as you say it.
I'd last played it. I think it was the lull between 23 and 24.
Oh, really? Okay.
I streamed LMA 2002. I managed Ipswich because they just got promoted to the Prem.
Yeah.
And over the course of about 3 weeks of streams, I think I continued 2 months because they are so slow as games in comparison. Like, I've got to try and sign someone. Continue.
The emails just arrived.
Yeah. It's almost like they didn't have email. They had to hand deliver everything. They're like, we're going to take over there. Are you sure you want to sign Jamie Carragher? I'm very sure I want to sign Jamie Carragher.
Yeah.
Of course I want to sign Jamie Carragher. He's terrible. I don't want him back. You can have him back. Yeah. Great games.
Oh, fantastic games.
Brilliant.
Whenever I'm chasing a game on Football Manager now, and you go in, you tweak all your tactics, and you go more direct, like counter press. All I can hear is that little manager on the sideline go, "Knock it long." And that was
Yes.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Oh, it's just it's superb, absolutely superb. But you've made the move now. You mentioned earlier you took a bit of a break from content and the bits and pieces, and you say kind of back more consistently from October. So kind of where were you in terms of your content creation pre-break? What made you want to come back?
So, very, very good question across multiple parts there. I like the layers. I mean, streaming-wise, it's been a bizarre journey, really. I'm not sure. Is there a normal journey in streaming, really? I'm not sure, but I feel like if there was one, I'm not sure mine is that. So, I mean, I started really at uni. This was just really on a whim. One of my friends, actually, that I was living with at the time, that was the first introduction I had to Twitch, really. I was very late to the game. I mean, growing up, I saw the odd KSI screaming at FIFA video, but I was very much not a YouTube and gaming watching child. I played them, I just didn't really watch anything. So yeah, I started that, and then I mean, I'll always remember the first stream I did. I put up it was on the console, it was on the PlayStation. I just hit sort of go live on that, where you can just go straight from there, and didn't know anything about having a chat or anything like this. And I remember I was playing God of War, bizarrely enough, and I know I'm sure you two will remember the thrill of starting this. I remember I had one viewer, and that was my phone, of course. It was me watching me, and I watched that viewer tick up to 2, and I thought, well, this is it. I'll plan retirement now. The only way's up. The air's getting pretty thin up here. I died instantly, and that went back down to 1. So that humbling rather quickly. I really got the turbulence of streaming. So
real peak and trough just instantly in the first stream.
Around 3 minutes that took to really learn the game from the bottom up. So that's just where it started. But then the majority of the time, I've actually streamed FIFA really. So it's always been football related games for me. But I was much more a FIFA man when I actually had hand-eye coordination. I feel like that's been lost on me now. So gone over to the one where I can just pretend to click continue and watch the football we played. But no, so I streamed that a lot throughout uni, but very, very inconsistently. It was just throwing it up as and when, sort of progressed to actually having a chat, speaking to some people. I mean, I still find it bizarre that anyone turns up and says hello. So that was nice throughout then. Interestingly enough, I mean, first tangent, apologies. Like I say, staying on a straight line, I struggle with. But yeah, the first sort of slither of recognition I remember actually was whilst at uni. I was streaming FIFA, and bizarrely enough, I managed to be included in a Will Any YouTube video. This was so.
What was it?
Yeah, completely unaware to this, by the way. There was a lot of irony to the story. So I was made aware of it about 2 months later that I was in it, and Will Any was doing some sort of video around giving away money to a random person who had no one watching them, essentially. I mean, it was rather humbling to hear his intro to that video and then my face pop up. But that happened. But what he did was he came in and he sort of donated £10, I think it was, something like that. So if you are watching, Will, thank you very much for that. That helped at uni. But the irony came from the fact I was on the console, so I didn't have the fancy alerts that we all have on streams now. So I didn't see this. So the next point of the video was him moving to the next stream that did, and then he gave £2,000 to the next person, with the irony being that would have very much bought the PC where I would have seen the donation. So so that meant I didn't stream for forever after. No, I'm kidding. That wasn't what put me off. But it was. But like I said, that was just a part of the peaks and troughs, we'll call it. I'm over it, I promise.
Every time Newcastle play now, you just like lose.
Exactly that. If he pops up in a Sidemen Sunday, I turn it off. No, I'm kidding. But really, it was. Sorry, to get back to the question now of where I went with it. So as I said, it was just really, really inconsistent. I came out of uni, and that was as we had lockdown. That was COVID situation as I finished. So every man and their dog started to stream. So that's where I had actually just finished, so it was very, very hard to get a job at that point. So it was sit at home and do this. And that was the first time I really sort of did this full time, shall we say. I mean, it was just because I had nothing else to do. So I'd just stay on until I wanted to stop. And that was where I got sort of a small bit of traction in the sense of, there were some people turning up and speaking to me. So that was lovely. And then the first break happened when I started to work, really. Life started to life as it was. I started sort of got my first sort of full-time role outside of university. So really had to focus on that, unfortunately. And went down that route. When I sort of settled in there, I came back to it again. Again, it was more of a sort of FIFA scenario. And then the next sort of mini story I have with it, this sort of spanned over a couple of years. Again, quite inconsistent. I bought a new fancy PC because I got to the point where I was really enjoying it and wanted to do this. So this is the PC I have now. And I remember on the final stream when it had turned up, I was all excited. It was in the box behind me where I am now. And I said, right, I'm going to need 2 weeks without a stream to set this up. And I'm going to get it all set up, all the bells and the whistles. It's going to be a lovely new looking stream. And that was 2 years. And then I returned October just gone. So, for some reason, I just yeah, I don't know why. I just fell out of the interest, and then things throughout that point, it was sort of progressing at work and sort of bought a house and things like that. It just really lifing. And as I say, the want to return was I just started watching things around Football Manager, and I got the itch to do it again. Really, I had streamed Football Manager, just putting it on when I got really angry at FIFA, because I tended to do that because it's a terrible game. But it was seeing people actually play Football Manager, and the fact that people enjoy watching, which was where I hadn't watched it before. I didn't realize there was sort of such a community around it, really. So I realized that's the game I always enjoy, because I had played it the whole time throughout. It was just more of a stick it on and fall asleep with my laptop on my lap, really, and just do that. So gave it a go in October to come back. I did actually start with FIFA whilst waiting for the new one. I didn't want to jump in at the tail end of 24, because I just thought it was very late into the cycle, sort of 2 years in to try then. So just waited for the new one, and here we are. I'm back and enjoying it more than ever.
Love that. Do you notice much of a transition from going from like EAFC over to Football Manager? Was there like how much of a difference was it with the sort of people that would be watching you and hanging out?
I would say, instantly the first thing is, I wouldn't say for the most part. If you go wider to the community, maybe this gap is sort of closer than it is. But I feel like at the area I'm at, whether it's a smaller group watching, of course, and not sort of I don't know why I've lost every name that plays FIFA or Football Manager off the top of my head that would have a large audience there. Thank you. There you go.
Someone.
Insert name. Thank you very much. But no, I just noticed, I feel like the people that are watching sort of smaller creators, I feel like would be typically a bit younger with FC. Sorry, you've named it correctly. I still go FIFA. But I'd feel like that. And then I think there's a lot more interest around FC being watching people get angry. Whereas I've noticed with Football Manager, it's like I say, it's generally a more mature audience, both in the sense of it feels like an older audience and sort of people, because it's a game probably more aimed at not so much, just playing games, quick pace and well, definitely not quick pace in my playing of the game. But that, and then, like I say, I don't feel like there's a need to, if you were going down the route of wanting to sort of stream and make videos and actually have people want to watch, I don't feel like you need to get angry and lose to have people enjoy it. Whereas that's really how it felt with FC. I feel like people really wanted to see you quite angry more than
just want the rage.
actually playing. Yeah, exactly. As you mentioned, a pie face who does very, very well is someone that notoriously gets very, very angry at his game.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally Angry Ginge.
Yeah, of course, which is my nickname. When I turn the camera off. Yeah.
I think it's a really interesting point, actually, because I think it's, for me, I'm almost the inverse of you, Josh, because I've played a lot of Football Manager. It's the only game I've ever streamed. Yeah. Apart from a couple of other little dalliances here and there with other games, which have been great fun, but it's mainly been FM. But I've always been FIFA or kind of FC adjacent. Like it's what I play offline. It's what I play when I'm not streaming, because like you say, with commitments and family life, FIFA is the kind of game that if you've got an hour, you can just drop in and play a couple of games, have a good time, or not. Fine. You can't. It's very, very hard just to boot up Football Manager just for an hour. I'm just going to play for an hour, and then suddenly it's 6 hours later. Your children haven't had their dinner. Everyone is shouting at you, and you just need to finish a transfer window so they can sort themselves out. It's. But to me, whenever I've always kind of kept an eye on FIFA content, FC content, that kind of thing. And you are right. It seems that it's the most successful people in that space generally seem to be the angriest.
Definitely.
There aren't many. It's just going to turn us into just beefing with FC streaming. That's brilliant. We've gone from LMA to just like burning bridges with the FC creators.
Sorry, I feel like I'm bringing up everything but Football Manager here.
That's brilliant. No, that's what we're here for, man. That's absolutely what we're here for. People invest in I think especially with Football Manager streamers, because Football Manager is often the least important thing that's happening on the screen at the time during the stream. You know, the people that I regularly watch streaming are people that I enjoy just spending time in their company because they're great fun, as Dee would say, they're a great hang. And that's the beauty of it. Whereas FC, it just doesn't feel that way. It almost feels like the people in the chat watching are almost secondary to what's going on screen. Yeah. And I think because it is Football Manager is the kind of game that I think there have been a lot of bigger FC creators over the years, people like Nick28T, people like Run the Foot Market, that kind of start to dip their toes into it towards the end of like a FIFA cycle.
Yeah.
They don't stream Football Manager like a Football Manager streamer. They stream Football Manager like a FIFA streamer. And it feels like it's a very, very different environment in those streams compared to if you're watching them play FIFA or watching them play FC. So
of course.
It just, I find it very, as talking to somebody who's done both, which do you think, which do you enjoy more, if you had to say?
It 100% is Football Manager now, and it just sort of suits me down to a T of how I am, really. So I like to talk a lot of nonsense, really. I go off on lots of tangents, as I'm sure we'll learn quickly. I mean, I told you too many stories during a simple question, but it's the issue I find with a game like FC or anything really, Call of Duty, anything where you're playing and you're having to focus. I never really enjoyed the fact that, and sorry for going off of where I was, where I struggle was I would get frustrated with these games when I wouldn't be doing very well, but I wouldn't do very well because I want to talk to chat. So if anyone message, it's a huge thing for me. If anyone sends a message, I'm going to reply instantly, and I like to have conversations. That's why I sort of enjoy doing this. That feels secondary with those forms of games. So that's why Football Manager is just sort of feels perfect to me. I very rarely hit the continue button, so it's spending the time talking. Whereas with an FC, I would then concede because someone would send a message as they're putting a ball over the top, and I'd be telling someone what I had for dinner, and then I'd concede a goal and then get angry. So it's preference-wise definitely Football Manager, but then I'd find it quite interesting what you just said of seeing the people that sort of dip their toe in. I feel like that's where I'm feeling I am a little bit, in the sense of I feel myself slowly transitioning. I'm trying to sort of find my way in being more centered around the Football Manager. I mean, as I say, having the conversations is my number one priority, but I feel like I'm slowly sort of morphing into the sense of focusing on the game, whereas I feel like I still, as you said, played it a little bit in the sense of very fast paced of get to the next game and chatting away. But I resonated with how you were explaining that, of seeing those FC creators come over and dipping the toe in. I feel like when I watch either of yourselves or a lot of the people that stream Football Manager, I feel like there's a lot more in depth with the Football Manager, and that's sort of where my mind's slowly getting. I just feel like I'm still a little bit on that side. It's sort of a bit of both at the moment.
Oh, which is very cool. I mean, it doesn't come across that way when you're streaming. Oh. Not by any stretch. You know, it's
I haven't shouted at it
yet. Give it time.
Yeah.
there's always time. There's always time. You can always blame the match engine, or just slip back into old habits and start shouting about EA. You know, it's like it's very, very.
You're never far away from a blame of EA.
No, absolutely.
You can try the recent approach that I think you were there when it happened, that me, Callum, and Stakey did whilst Nuzlocking, and you just start roasting chat for no reason whatsoever.
I did enjoy, and I went quite quiet during that part, actually. Yeah,
there were a few people I noticed stopped typing for a bit, because I was like, are they meaning this? I was like, no, I'm going to mean it. It was just funny, just to have a completely opposite personality to a Pokemon game.
Yeah, I just thought I think I've gained too much ammo over the last few streams. I might stay quiet for a minute here. I think
it's a very aggressive Pokemon stream. It's not what I was expecting.
It's Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke, man.
Bring out the worst in me. It's my EA.
Brilliant watch. Brilliant watch.
23. Honestly, furious. Absolutely furious. Now, look, I think it makes the space more interesting, having people that come in from different backgrounds, and even with a game that is, and we say this a lot on the podcast, it's almost a contradiction, because on the one hand, Football Manager year on year is drawing in more people than it did the year before.
Yeah.
It's becoming exponentially a bigger game, but at the same time, at the very heart of it, it still feels very niche. So it's a weird one. And so it's always, I just think it does the space good to have people joining it from different backgrounds in terms of content creation, in terms of gaming, in terms of that kind of those experiences with games in general, sports games, management simulator, whatever they may be. New people coming in, being part of that space, who have that experience from elsewhere. I think it's only an interesting thing. So I think it really, really works. You've mentioned, obviously, you like to get involved with your chat, and I think that's one of the things that kind of comes across. I think I've been fortunate enough to pick up a couple of raids from yourself over the last few months, and people are always very, very interested to come in and tell me what it is that you've been discussing on stream that day.
It's usually nonsense. Yeah.
A lot of things get ranked quite frequently on your streams, and a lot of other things, a lot of other, in some cases, bits of personal information are sometimes put out there. So if you don't mind, Josh, I know, spoiler alert, audience, D has once again planned out a little bit of trivia for the end of podcast. I've thrown together just a little something, just to whet the whistle. If you will indulge me, gentlemen, if you'll indulge me.
And you like
Josh,
a quiz.
These are questions for you, Josh. D, very much like you did for me the other week with Stakey, please feel free to be Josh's lifeline and support him
lifeline
in your endeavours.
When to be found.
Lovely stuff. So, just a couple of questions, just based around again some of the notes that D has sent me about you and about some of the things that happen in your stream. Are we ready? Question number 1 in this very, very impromptu quiz section of the podcast. Okay, so question number 1. Which popular Football Manager content creator, I believe North American content creator, shares his name with a country that are going to be competing at the 2026 World Cup?
I'm going to go with Zealand.
It is Zealand. That is correct. That is correct. You've got yourself a point.
Off the mark.
Done. You're away. You're well away. Question number 2. Could you have a guess for me, Josh, at who, with 91 Premier League goals, is New Zealand's all-time top Premier League goal scorer?
I'd go with Chris Wood.
It is Chris Wood. You are 2 for 2. You are absolutely flying. And finally, question number 3. Which of the following comedy groups hail from New Zealand? Is it A, Flight of the Conchords, or B, Monty Python?
It would be A, I would assume, of the two.
It is A, Flight of the Conchords. Yeah. Congratulations, you are 3-3. That was brilliant. D, sorry, Josh, if you just for a second, D, in your notes, you told me that Josh gets Kiwis wrong, and you've just he's just done really well at my quiz about New Zealand.
Okay, no, you may have misread it. No, he eats Kiwis wrong.
Oh, he eats Kiwis wrong.
Now for my next trick.
Well.
Oh,
I say he eats them wrong.
Josh, how do you eat Kiwis?
I should have known the relevance there. It really went over my head, that one. Well, the correct way, if you look at the benefits of it, like an apple. And there's not much more to be said there.
This is why you're really here. We're not interested in the Football Manager talk. What, you eat Kiwis with the fur on?
So I'll give you a play-by-play if you'd like. We're really getting into the stuff here.
Yeah,
like break it down like a tactic.
Yeah. So I'll take it. I'll take it out of the fridge. I'll keep it in the fridge if that's. I don't know if you're that way inclined. Maybe a fruit bowl, but mine are fridged.
Don't eat fruit, so it doesn't relevant.
No.
At this point, Josh is in possession of the kiwi. Just in case anybody's thinking about trying to replicate this.
Of course. So
okay.
Out of the fridge. What I'll do is I'll run that under the tap, and I'm not sure this is the strangest part. It might sound it, but. If anything, maybe that softens the blow of the fur. I'm not sure if maybe that's the magic to this here. But I'll run it under the tap. I'll cut it in half, and I'll go to town. There you go. Just like an apple in your hand. Get messy. It's a good time. Very good for you as well.
With the fur on.
Yes. Yeah. I would say don't knock it until you tried it. I read somewhere. I don't know if it was a legitimate source. Maybe I'd been sold a dream by Twitter. There's lots of nutrients. I gave it a go. I didn't notice the fur.
Fair enough. What other fruits do you eat with the skin on? Apple?
I feel like I saved time with my
apple.
bananas. Yeah.
Yeah? Just
No.
down in one.
Yeah. So you peel a banana. Would it help if the banana peel was furry? Would that?
Or
It would need a tap. It would need a tap. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Hot or cold?
Cold. Okay. Let's not push the boat.
You might want it to warm it up a little bit, like a soft boiled kiwi or something.
Would ruin the fridge work. I think we're getting out of hand here.
I don't know. We've even began to delve. This is the therapy section of the podcast, Josh.
I'm just most confused the fact that the quiz didn't lead me to where we were going there. I'm quite disappointed in myself. I didn't see that.
Do you enjoy the fur?
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood. How's Chris Wood involved in this? Is the fur?
Chris Wood.
Because you can
eats
have it.
kiwis with a fur on. As does Zealand and both members of Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
Not Monty Python.
Monty Python, no.
Never
They
Monty
don't eat
Python.
anything with the skin on.
No. I don't
They peel an
get
apple.
John Cleese anywhere near a kiwi fruit these days. Absolutely not. See, when Dee told me that about you, Josh, all I could think in my head, and hey, what's this? Rich with a strangely niche reference. It's the episode of Sunny where Charlie and Dee go out on their own and they go to a diner and Charlie decides he's going to have a chicken sandwich, but he's going to have it without the beak, or beak on the side. They're like, you don't have to have the beak at all, Charlie. You don't need to eat the beak. And then the waitress comes over and he just screams beak at her. And that's just how I see it in my head. It's like, you could just enjoy I like a kiwi. I like a kiwi as much as the next man, but just smooth. A smooth kiwi. I don't concede.
Do you shave your kiwis now? This is maybe a more obscure question for you, Rich, because I can understand Josh, on a level just going solid, just straight down. Are you there with full razor blade? Gillette.
I'm there. I'm
care of the
here.
kiwi. It's the best kiwi you can get, apparently.
I'm here with the Manscaped Package 5.0, ready to shave. We're not sponsored by them, but Manscaped, if you're listening, this is the kind of impromptu advertising that you can get. This is the kind of advertising you can get. I use the Performance Package 5.0. I shave my kiwi up. It's dolphin smooth, and I'm ready to go. I shaved my kiwi up. It sounds so innuendo. It really does,
It's the advert they didn't know they needed.
Considering I'm describing a shaving package designed around bums at best. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Good.
D, I don't know how to get out of this. I feel like we're in it now.
I'll try and help segue that. So not only on Twitch do you obviously bring up your fruit eating methods, which we all enjoy, but you also currently have a very interesting and wonderful save with Edinburgh City, Rise of the Capital, which I do like. I love that as a name.
Thank you.
Where did the idea of telling Edinburgh's story come from for you?
So first of all, brilliant segue, and I'm glad we so quickly got from Kiwis to Scotland.
Have you signed any New Zealand players for them?
Not yet. No, I feel like I'm not allowed at that point. I feel like I've disgraced the Kiwi. So save wise, it was, as I said, I'm really, really new to. I mean, I started watching Football Manager content. I mean, I'm still not great, and I'm trying to watch more on sort of YouTube and things, but it was really the sort of streams that sort of took my fancy, and as I say, it's sort of what I like to do, so I enjoyed watching that. I did notice lots of people have a save that they're going for, sort of an interesting save, and they named these saves, so I was thinking, well, I can't just be Swindon and take them to the Premiership as I do every year offline. I could, but that's a rather boring name. It'd be Robin related, I'm sure. I was trying to think of some alliteration off the top of my head. I can't do that quick enough, unfortunately.
It's good. It's good.
But so it really was just having a look around for. I wanted something tough in the sense of I'd quite like this to last the whole game cycle, really, and the way it's going, 8 seasons in without any silverware. I don't think we're finishing this anytime soon. So yeah, I just wanted some. Yeah, of course. Yeah, winning's. The cool kids lose. So yeah, I wanted something tough, and I had a look around on sort of not articles. Well, I just searched these things and sort of read up on what could be a tough save this year, and I saw that Edinburgh City, so they were the bottom division in Scotland, League Two, always going to be a tough division, sort of semi-pro. They also had a 15-point deduction, so due to the sort of financial difficulties and things, it was always going to be a tough one. And then what I had seen and I had enjoyed from the small amount of content I'd consumed around Football Manager, I really liked the story side of things, as you said, sort of making a story. I liked the idea of building them up in the sense of Scotland's dominated by Glasgow. I thought, let's build a story around the capital. Of course, they are bottom of League Two in real life at the moment, so it is the sort of lowest ranked team in the capital. So I thought it made a bit of a story of building them up to be the best team in Edinburgh and then having a go at the two in Glasgow, really. I just thought there was layers to it. It was something that could sort of span across the save and, yeah, just really sort of wanted something quite tough. But also I felt I was quite happy with the story, really.
It's a fun one for me, Scotland. Have you? Because I've never properly. I think because obviously I know Callum had Stranraer. Yes. And Tom Frontan has done Spartans. And I think because I saw all three of you do it, I was like, I might do an offline save in Scotland. I think it was the first time I've actually managed in Scotland.
Oh, well.
First time even just thinking, oh, yeah, Scotland's the one for it. I think I played about half a season and then I got frustrated as soon as I saw all of the different playoffs and league separations.
Yes.
So well done you for sticking with it and tolerating.
Well, if we jump forward a little bit on the save, just quickly on a side note there, I embarrassed myself when it comes to lack of Scottish knowledge, and I put out a short video in the sense of I didn't realise that the top division splits into two, and I thought it was a very early end of the season, which very much angered TikTok. Let's say lots of Scottish people thought I was trying very hard to make a clip, put it that way, and I just thought that we finished really early and we only played 33 games. I didn't realise that we were about to split in half.
As soon as the temperature goes up, Scotland shuts down. It's just like, we can't deal with this.
I was just happy to finish fourth. It turns out I then had to play Celtic and Rangers again.
Yeah. It's fine.
Oh, no. Just goes. Which is, you know what? Sorry, Scotland. In advance, I apologise to our Scottish listeners. You just assume, like, league splits, it feels very, very European. It doesn't necessarily feel like the kind of thing you would expect to happen in...
What's your angle here, Rich? Are you about to go all Brexit-y?
Right. Brexit means Brexit. It's a one-league system in this country. No, but it doesn't feel like... I'm the same as you, D. I don't have a huge amount of experience managing in Scotland. So then I was looking at it today on the BBC website because I was checking on how Hearts are getting on. And I was like, I didn't realise that it happened in Scotland. With countries like Belgium, yes, absolutely, it splits midway through. Like that's fine, but it feels very kind of like European. Like, I'm managing in the third tier of Lithuania, and then the league splits into four. You'd go, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's the way that I'd expect. Yeah, why not? But you don't expect it to happen so close. So I get where you're coming from, Josh. I understand solidarity, brother. You just don't expect it to happen with the Scottish pyramid in that way.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I have actually discussed this recently because I do have the pleasure of having some Scottish contingent that turn up now to see the save and now listen to the various nonsense I talk, but they put up with the save. But no, so we've discussed this actually, and exactly that a lot of the sort of English side don't understand it, but there are positives that put across. I guess it gives 4 Old Firm derbies rather than what we'd have. We'd have 2 of each fixture here. I think there's lots of positives when it comes to the TV side of things. Also with the amount, I guess it does make sense. The amount in the league they play 3 times, so then you get that 4th game against. So there's pros, but. Yeah, still doesn't make a huge amount of sense in my head, but that doesn't mean too much. Not a lot of things do.
It's a method.
It sure
It's a way
is.
of doing it. And it's just
It's
something
been working.
Yeah, it's been working for him. You just have to do it, really. Have to. No.
Yeah. So look, you touched on jumping ahead in the save there. So how many seasons in are you now? Did you say 8? Did you just say?
So I will on the next time that I hit that go live button, it will be the start of season 9.
Nice. And how has it gone so far? I mean, considering you start with a 15-point deduction.
Yes.
How's it gone for you?
Up and down would be the way I'd put it. Humbling and enjoyable, both in lots of that. So first season actually went very, very well, and I thought I might actually be the best to ever do this. I did manage to get promoted in that first season with the 15-point deduction. I would have won the league without it. So with only one going up, it was a playoff promotion in that first season. I was thinking this Football Manager stuff's easy, and boy, was I wrong. No, it was a next one. It's been very similar throughout. Sort of season 2 was consolidating in League One, and then it was playoffs up again in that third season. Championship was the same, although that was a little bit worse. It did take a wonderful free kick to keep me up on the final day. I did survive with a fantastic goal. Stayed up there, and then I put together a new tactic. I thought I'd try something new because what I was doing wasn't working. Long story short, I haven't used it in many a season, so it didn't work very well. But it worked that season, and I was top of the league until the final day. And as I touched upon earlier, we are 8 seasons in without any silverware. That title did slip from my hands on the final day, and it did take another playoff victory. I don't count a playoff as a trophy. Some people have tried to give me a saving grace that you might get a participation trophy for winning a playoff. I'm not counting it as silverware. So it was, up there. And then I have just had 3 seasons in the Premiership there. I finished 4th, both of the first 2. I've just finished 5th in this. But throughout, I've had silverware in my grasp and slip away multiple times. A Scottish Cup final, lost on penalties to Rangers. Lost a Premier Sports Cup final last season. And it looks like it's never going to happen. But we keep going. But like I say, alive. I'm now just about to start season 9, and I've now built a new tactic, and I feel like it's this. It felt like it was the one. It was when things weren't working towards the end of this last season, and as I'm sure you both know, with maybe a new tactic bounce, I put this together. I spent hours looking at this thing. I played 4 games. I scored 9 goals. I conceded none, and I thought I'm Jose Mourinho now. I won 1 in my next 10, and I finished the lowest I finished in the Prem. But I'm sticking with it. I'm going to make it work. Or I'll die trying, either or.
Yeah. It's not the tactics' fault, it's the players.
Of course. Or EA.
It's the players' fault. It's EA's fault, yeah.
Or EA, it's definitely. In my head, for a second there, I was like, is he blaming Serge Aurier? How's he involved? But no, it's definitely EA Sports. Definitely EA Sports.
First team coach, Serge Aurier, yeah.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Just crossing. Let's just ping it in from deep the whole day. Oh,
bring him on for set pieces.
What a moment! See, as somebody involved in a longer term save, like I can resonate with a lot of that. It feels a little bit, not to rub it in, but I fluked to Premier League in with my Everton side, but a lot of other trophies they just keep eluding you, and I think it's those final days that really sometimes make you think, do I go again? Do I do something fun instead? What am I doing to myself here? Because I maintain there are not many feelings that you experience in gaming that are similar to a trophy loss or letting a league slip on a final day in Football Manager. Because it's so frustrating, and especially if, like you've done it with a club that you've had to build up over 8 or 9 seasons, and then just for it to slip through your fingers at the last second. If you're managing Real Madrid or you're managing Man City, you go, I'll just do it again next season, won't matter. But you don't even know the next time you're going to make it into a cup final with a side like Edinburgh.
And to add another layer, just to make things even worse, every time I pretend that I'm grabbing a glass of water and I go full suit for the final. I return for each final, and I have lost every suited final so far. So it might be time for a waistcoat. I'm not sure.
I did stop doing that after a while. because I think I won the first one. I'm thinking back to FM23. I was managing Rochdale, and I won the pizza trophy, and I'd gone full waistcoat, full. I'm ready to do this. Went really well, so I was like, right, well, that's the formula. Clearly, it works. Didn't win another one. It got to the point where I'd put the tie around my head, and I just looked like a drunk uncle at a wedding. And that was about as much as I could motivate myself, because it'd be like,
it's here.
Luckily, and then luckily, it weirdly started winning stuff. So play with outfits.
I'll go Guardiola next time, I think.
Guardiola's a good look. Or mascot.
Okay.
Get the Edinburgh City mascot outfit.
Trying to think what we could do for that.
Give you a lend, and just full. I don't even know what their mascot is.
No, I'm trying to think. I don't think they have one.
I need the internet.
Look it up. See, I'm with you in the. Sometimes it's fun to put a suit on for a special occasion.
No, I didn't think so. But
at the same time, there is nothing more humbling than begrudgingly taking your jacket and your tie and your shirt off when you've just lost a cup final, or having to just.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's even the moment where you've lost it and you're still in the suit. I think it's the look in the mirror as you take the tie off. That's the humbling part of that.
When the stream has ended.
Yes. I have work.
I've got to go downstairs and
what
speak
have I become?
This is how was stream, honey?
Yeah.
No, not good.
Don't ask.
Don't ask it. I don't want to talk about it.
Don't want to talk about it. No. Look, all I'm saying is there might be a little small bottle of something fizzy in my fridge for if and when I do the Champions League with Everton. And I'm going to forget it. When it happens, I'm going to forget that it's there.
Yep.
Nailed on.
I did for ages. I had a confetti cannon on my test and never got used. And then I forgot to do it. So then I was just like, I'll use it at another point. Use it to celebrate something else. But,
Third place.
Oh, most losses in a season. Yay!
Yeah, more of that kind of thing. Absolutely more of that kind. I think we need to, look, when you're managing a club that isn't necessarily going to win everything, you need to celebrate the losses. There's got to be something in there.
They come aplenty.
Exactly. 10 barren trophyless seasons, fireworks.
Yeah.
Like that lad, I think he was playing something like Call of Duty, and this is going back a fair few years now, but he was streaming Call of Duty, and every time he got a kill, there was like a mini pyrotechnics explosion in his behind him in his bedroom.
You're on about.
And I've got so much time for that. Genuinely, I think it's wonderful. Just nonsense, absolute nonsense. That's lovely.
I will get the pyros ready.
Yes. So I want it looking like a night at Istanbul.
Yeah.
Behind you. That's the dream.
Yeah.
So that's like a Nickelback concert. Just
yes.
We'll look at that photograph.
Yeah. This is what we're here for. Nickelback references. He was married to Avril Lavigne with Chad Kroeger. There you go. There's a fun fact.
I'm in a Nickelback music video.
Are you?
I mean, it's a crowd shot, which does now mean I have just confessed to seeing Nickelback live.
No?
Twice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Valid.
Big fan of the back. But yeah, I'm in a crowd shot on Burn It to the Ground. So.
Wow.
That's this evening's viewing sorted.
I think if you just turned around and said,
I have hair and no beard, you won't recognise me.
Yeah. He'd gone in disguise. If you had just said to me, I was the photograph in Photograph by Nickelback, I'd have believed you.
I was the woman in How You Remind Me. That was me. Yeah.
Yes.
Hair and no beard.
Hair and no beard.
Hair and no beard. Yeah. That classic Nickelback lady fan look. That's what they go for. Oh, good. That's Edinburgh. That's your wee Edinburgh save there on Twitch. What's the end? What ends the save for you, Josh? What's the crowning moment with Edinburgh?
That is a very good question, and it's one I ask myself in the mirror most mornings. I'm not entirely sure, if I'm perfectly honest. As I said, the story was building around making them the best in the capital. I'm not there yet. That was the first port of call. We've done Hearts. I'll take that.
Yeah.
We finish above them every season. So Hibs are flying in my save. So they're the next, and then at very least, I'm going to have to win the league. At very least.
I was going to say, how many? I mean, do you know how many times each of Hibs and Hearts have actually won competitions? So to speak, like how many times they've won the Premiership?
So on my save, no one but the old firm have won it. Still, it's very lifelike in that sense. It's only been one of the old firm, mostly Celtic. I think Rangers have won it once since I've been in the save. As for trophies, I wouldn't know off the top of my head who's won them all, but I did just lose my most recent cup final to Hibs. So
Swines.
Yeah, really, really frustrated in that sense. But no, as for an end, I'll see sort of how long it takes me to get to that league title, if ever. At that point, it would then be Europe bound of probably going there. Really, it's sort of playing it by ear. As I've said, this is still a very, very new sort of a thing for me. I haven't really fully fleshed out the idea. I sort of started it really on the whim of a hard save with a bit of a story, and it's filled itself out to the point of I've flown and drove up to Edinburgh to watch them play. I have a shirt signed by the entire team behind me.
Wow.
Yeah, I've sort of spoken with the club. They were very, very very hospitable when I went up the last time. I sort of had a bit of an experience there, so it's really gone a lot more than I ever would have expected it to. I thought this was going to be click through the game and see how it went, but it's really sort of spurred me on for future iterations of the game and saves really.
Oh, that's amazing. Like living that again, we've all kind of, for the last 2 or 3 years, we've lived it, a lot of us vicariously through Callum with his Slough save. But again, what a wonderful thing to have that, the fact that they're invested and they've reached out and you're having those experiences with the club. I absolutely love that for you. I'm enormously jealous, but I genuinely love that for you. So that's very cool.
It was, as I said, it was a lot more than I ever would have expected. It all started with on a whim, just part of it. So I bought a needlessly expensive club tie. It was the most expensive tie I've ever purchased. That was for my suited losses. I put a tweet out to sort of tagging the club, just because, as you said, I watch Callum. I see at this point Stranraer were on the scene. I didn't see the all the highs of Slough, as I was sort of very new to it. I've sort of caught up with the idea and understand sort of how brilliant that all was. But sort of saw Stranraer and things like that, and that was some sort of inspiration in trying to throw a tweet out there. So I said something along the lines of if they respond to this tweet, I'll book a flight and I might even add a shirt to my collection of club merch, which they did. They said, it'd be, at that point it was sort of very little. It was it'd be great to have you. So I reluctantly went onto a Skyscanner and got myself a cheap flight and went up there to watch that game. But it was after that I sort of made a short video of the day of sort of flying up there and sort of tried to make something somewhat enjoyable. Made that. Then the media man, Aaron, his name is, he's brilliant. He reached out and just said the club really, really appreciates the support and this. So if you are ever up again watching a game, come. We can show you around the stadium, meet some of the players, get that shirt signed and things like that. So that was the next time. I drove up recently, the Easter weekend just gone, and watched the Edinburgh derby against Spartans. And as I say, was sort of showed around the stadium, was in hospitality for the start. It was a lovely experience. I signed the shirt, and unfortunately they did get quite the beating because Spartans are quite good. They're going for the title. So it was an unfortunate result, which rather frustratingly, it just sort of limited what could have happened after the game, as it was a little bit of a sour feel around the club. I wouldn't want to meet me
Sure.
after losing to your rivals personally. I wouldn't want to come out and have to shake my hand. So no, but as I said, Aaron, the media man, was amazing. He did all he could, but of course, yeah, the manager was quite frustrated after the game. So it was sort of that limited it there, but amazing what they sort of allowed and how hospitable they were.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you missed, they missed a trick, introducing you to the manager, shake hands, then just lean in and be like, I would have won that game.
Yeah. 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress.
Yeah. That's what I would have done in this situation. I think we're Derby, 3 points the richer, but
yes.
you do
Still
you.
starting that guy up front, are you?
I don't mean to brag, but I was up at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave now. Yeah, thank you.
You'd been sold, and you'd been sold.
Yeah.
The main frustrating part, like I say, was so I didn't get to sort of meet anyone. They did just sign the shirt, but an interesting story with it, and sort of a bit of a story of the save I have was my key man in my first season was a free agent I signed called Max Guthrie. His name is. And just bizarrely enough, it was 2 weeks after I started the save and signed him. He did sign as a free agent for Edinburgh, and he plays for them now. So that was the man I was hoping to meet. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and I am petty enough that he has been released from the club. It has happened. I hold my hands up. I'm a petty man. No, so it ran its course anyway. We'd done the storyline, but no, but that was the case there, and it was. Even more interestingly, his first ever start for the club was the day I went up for that day.
Wow.
He hadn't started that, so it really would have been full sort of story if I did get the chance to meet him. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. But I do have his signature on the shirt, so we can take that silver lining.
Nice.
Absolutely, you manifested that. That's something. I rate that very highly.
That's it. I was praying for the goal.
Oh, one day it will come when you're there, and then he'll look over you and he'll just give you a little wink and you can do it back to him. It's like, there we go. Oh, beautiful moments. So that's Edinburgh. That's Edinburgh, and that's lovely. Now, I think we should probably talk about this. I'm really interested to talk to you about this because it's something that I've always wanted to do myself, but I've never had, the courage or the stamina to pull it off, because you mentioned you've been kind of back streaming again quite regularly since October of last year.
Yeah,
we touched upon this briefly at the start, just when we were having a little preamble about how tired you might have been recently, because
haven't yawned yet.
Not yet, which is very impressive, because I'm very boring. But you, Josh, 24-hour stream. Goodness me. First of all, what an accomplishment.
Thank you very much.
That's wild. 24 hours is it's mental. That's amazing.
That's a whole day.
That's literally an entire day. Literally an entire day.
In this seat right here.
Wow. Where he is sat now. Amazing. What was so I suppose my questions are, first of all, what was the motivation behind deciding to take on what is a pretty crazy challenge, and secondly, how do you go about preparing for that? Because again, it's a big old shift. It's 24 hours of being live on the internet.
It is indeed. It is something it isn't the first time I've done it. We can get back to that. So it was something I sort of mentally knew could be the case. But as for how it came about, when I came back, I was very lucky in the sense of I had some wonderful people that had previously watched when I had streamed before that returned with me, which I'm incredibly grateful for. As we all know from starting this streaming game, it is very, very hard when it's just you and the game, and so it's brilliant that as I said, some people came back. So the wonderful people that do watch, I had sort of some followers from previously. Because I used the same account I'd always used. Of course, it's changed its game and things like that. So it's not always been everyone's cup of tea that's hit follow. So that's gone up and down, that number. But it came up that if I hit a certain goal, that there was some interest for this to happen, which I found bizarre. It wasn't something that I had said, right, let's hit this goal and I'm going to do this. This was sort of raised from the people that very, very kindly turn up. And as I mentioned, it is something that I had done previously, a handful of times actually, when I had streamed. So previously to this return, it was definitely wasn't as consistent, but I did stream quite a lot in the sense of not scheduled or anything, but I would stream. It would just be as and when I can. So that was a situation that had happened a few times. So it was something that the people that had returned with me knew was maybe on the cards, although I'm an older man than I was then, so I was a little bit worried by the prospect. But yeah, there was interest if I hit a certain follower goal, which I did, and I'm a man of my word, I agreed to it. So I said I would. We got to that position. I sort of planned it on a weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't have any time to take off work, so it did have to be a Friday evening so that I could actually recover for the Monday. And I guess that moves nicely on to the second part of your question. How do I prepare? My preparation was a full day at work with actually not a great night's sleep the night before, and I essentially had a sugar-free Monster on a drip.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Most days anyway, so
yeah.
That's the science behind it. That's very, very cool. I mean, D, I know you've done a few 12 hours, I want to say. Have you ever gone above?
Have you? I think 15 was the longest I did, because I
15.
did a charity stream where I did a whole season in one stream on 24. But yeah, I never quite done the 24. Mainly because I just don't think people would want to watch me for that long. So I feel like
I think you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think well, there were a handful of people that did make it through the whole thing, but there were maybe like 2 active chatters at the end of 15 that are like, all right, we've got 1 game left to go. You could instant result it if you want. And I was like, no, no, we must play this game. Yeah. We have to. But yeah, 24 hours though is wild. I was lucky. I checked in on a couple of sort of periodically in and out of things. I was there for some. Yeah, I was there for some FM stuff. I think I saw a bit of EAFC, a bit of Among Us. You played.
Yes.
You started playing a horror game, which I do have to admit, I know you weren't happy with, and I definitely muted your tab while you played it because I didn't want to be involved. I was scared for you.
As I mentioned, I am an honest man. I wasn't at the time. The sound was turned very much down in my ears as well. Yeah.
Scary stuff.
I could barely hear it.
Good. Yeah, I don't blame you. But yeah, wild. Big long stream. I'm guessing going into that because it was a subathon, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think sorry.
I was going to say, which I think is definitely because I think you said you'd have to hit a certain number before you would do the 24, which I think really drives home how awesome the FM community are and encouraging and supportive across the whole time, and the fact that they would be like, well, we want to see more of you. We want to support you doing this. How many people actually stayed up for the whole thing?
Oh, it's a good question. I don't sort of see
at least
the
consistently.
I was
just people that were there.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't see. I never have numbers up of the sense of.
Sure.
So I wouldn't have known what the number was watching at the time. But there were definitely two people that stayed. There was multiple people speaking throughout the night, but there were 2 that did the majority of it with me. Jack and Bedders, they can have their moment. I think they probably slept. I think one probably got about 2 hours, and that was from about 8 a.m. And then someone had about a 30-minute nap. But apart from that, they were there for the course with me, which was greatly appreciated because it was. You said you've done 15 hours. I feel like that really is the heavy lifting, really, because for me it was just there was a big wall between sort of 5 and 6 a.m. and having someone with you at that point just actually engaging. I think I could have stayed up. I just think it kept me at a level where I can actually still talk in the sense of I didn't just flatline. It's motivation
as well, just to sort of get through something because someone actually is paying attention. It's not like it was 30 people that were like, oh cool, good luck, just leave a lurk and we'll go to bed and have a lovely rest. The people that are actually like, oh, we'll hang out, we'll keep you company, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely.
That's lovely. I mean, like I say, for me it's those wee small hours, and those are the ones that that worry me. I think I spoke to, because I think I'm similar to you, D. I think I did 16 hours once. I think the last time I did a big stream, it was 16, and that was 10 a.m. till 2 a.m. Because again, for me, 2 a.m., like I say, people probably want to go to bed at some point. Yeah. That's kind of your cutoff. And I was tired, but because I think a lot of other people, like people in the chat, were like, oh, yeah, we're probably going to start to, if you're going to call it a night, we're going to call it a night soon. I was like, that's fair enough. People I spoke to and kind of the build up to it, I know people that have done 24-hour streams, kind of reached out to them. I was like, hey, what would your recommendations be? And the first two people I know that have done 24-hour streams, they both replied, just don't. It's just probably try and avoid
Solid
it if
advice.
you can. And they went, yeah, look, this at the end of the day, is like you've got to, if you know categorically you're going to have, like I say, you had those two people with you pretty much for the duration through the graveyard shift, you know, those wee small hours of the morning, then brilliant. But if you don't definitively know you're going to have that, then I'd be gone in the chair at about 5-6 o'clock in the morning. And that was, for me, my biggest fear was like, what if I did? If I started at 6 in the afternoon and I went through to 6 the next morning, what happens if I just completely flap it and there's nobody there? And horrible bit of business. So they were like, start early, finish late. And I was like, that made sense. I'd love to try it.
You go.
No, sorry. I was going to say, I'd love to try it at some. I think just to see if I could. More of an endurance thing than anything else.
I think definitely, as I said, I mean, I was working the day, so I didn't really have the choice as of start time. But my piece of advice in the sense of if I was genuinely preparing for it, I think I would sort of get some rest throughout the day. I think when I started would be my preference of doing it in the sense of I started about 7 p.m. and I feel like because it's an evening, people are sort of finishing their day. It was a Friday evening, so people are finished for the weekend. They're sort of enjoying. There's probably a time when they watch things as well. But then you're not a million miles away from the hard hours, and then you almost get that then boost when people start to wake back up. Whereas, as you've said, it might be sort of easier in the sense of starting early and going throughout the day because you're going to be up anyway. But I feel like if you were doing the 24, if you'd started at 10 a.m., I feel like those early hours are really going to hit hard if you've been going for that long already. I sort of wanted to be almost my midway point because then I always knew when the sun came up and people started to wake up and come back in, it was going to be that boost that I needed to the sort of energy and the entertainment levels. But mainly for me, as Dee said there, it was a subathon, so it was something that sort of the community sort of it was extended by sort of people's incredible generosity. That was always going to be the motivation in the sense of, I can't disappear here. My fantastic community and people that kindly show up and support, I can't disappear. They've been so wonderful. I can't go anywhere. So that it was never going to happen. They might just have to watch me sleep for 30 minutes and do a jump scare on the channel points, and that might get me back up. But no, it was. I wouldn't be in the camp of don't do it. I just personally, for me, I would say starting in the evening would be my only advice if you have the choice. Yeah,
which makes sense. When you put it that way, it makes a lot of sense. Plus, as well, being a man of a certain age, I'm probably going to want to go to sleep not long afterwards, and going to sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning probably not the best idea in my experience. You know, it's
not ideal.
When I was a boy, I could bounce back. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. But now, just goodness gracious me, the concept of staying up too late and no, thank you.
I thought I'd brave it, and I settled down with some food after the stream, and I thought I'd try and watch the Tyson Fury fight, and I think I fell asleep during the first walk-in of what was happening midway through the dinner.
Did you get your chicken though?
I had some bites, yeah. I didn't manage to finish it all. I was, as I said, the problem was we didn't anticipate how big the queue was going to be. So my wife had gone out to get it, and it was about 40 minutes after I finished that she returned with the food. And by that point, the head was starting to dip. So, yeah, that was tougher than the stream, I think, waiting for the food.
Waiting for the chicken. There we go. So that's the plan. Start later in the day and order the chicken.
Get your second wind in the morning.
Yeah, get your second wind in the morning.
Pre-order the chicken.
Pre-order your chicken ready for your finish.
Always pre-order your chicken.
Yes. Always pre-order. If there's
live
one
by
thing
that.
we say on this podcast, it's pre-order your gosh darn chicken. Honestly. No. So when's the next one? What's the plan?
This has already been said, and I've said I am setting no sort of target on this. I said I think it would have to be something preposterous of I don't know, some sort of height that I can't imagine we'd hit. I don't know. It's something I think I'm a bit too scared and still a bit too fragile to even think of at the moment. It would be a big target, but it's not something I have any plan on setting.
After you've made your first appearance on a Football Manager based podcast, there you go. I think that's a fair target.
I'll see you on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, see you Friday. Outstanding. Right. Cool. I mean, look, I've learnt a lot from that. I'm genuinely considering it. There is a period of time, possibly at the start of the summer holidays this year, that my wife and children might be away for a few days, and I might just ruin it for myself and just be like, I should just relax and enjoy the quiet and decompress after what is traditionally a very, very busy term. No, stay awake for 24 hours playing video games. Go on, do that. That's a way better idea.
You can rest for the day of sleep you have after.
Exactly. When they come home, why does Daddy look so tired? But it's really big. There you go. Yeah. Fantastic. So, look, a lot to learn, a lot to think about there. Speaking of thinking, Deebles.
Yes.
Would you? There's talk of a proper quiz, not just a segue into a stupid bit about kiwi fruit.
An actual genuine quiz. It's mildly based around the fact that you are managing in Scotland. A warmer Scotland top.
Brilliant.
Sure respect, man. I don't have Edinburgh top because I can't afford one. But I would like both of you collectively to work as a team.
Both you.
An Avengers Assemble style squad merging. I'd like you to name, if you can, the top 10 Scottish players for goal involvements in the Premier League. And I've gone goal involvements because not a lot of players who've just scored goals. But goal involvements, so goals and assists, the top 10 Scottish men of all time Premier League.
Is this a tenable situation, or are we throwing out ideas?
This is a tenable.
Okay.
It's a tenable situation.
This is a Scotland tenable.
I will hazard the first, and I'm gonna go brave with John McGinn. Surely has to be there. Oh no.
John McGinn is number 11.
Rich, take the lead.
Of all time. 47 goal involvements, 21 goals, 26 assists.
Okay, that's okay. So
that's
that's
above 47.
That's the level.
Combined. That's the level.
So 47 is the level. Interestingly, John McGinn was pretty much my first port of call.
Mm-hmm. I think it's because obviously he does. You think he does a lot, and he does do a lot.
Yeah,
but he's obviously not done as much as the 10 other players before.
Yeah, of
on
course.
This list.
Not quite as much. Okay, so now I'm comparing longevity to recency bias, because recency bias, when I think prolific Scottish footballers, I think Scott McTominay, but he's only been a really prolific footballer since he left the Premier League. So
I wouldn't put it more than John McGinn personally.
No. If McGinn is the benchmark, then
yes.
Okay, if we're going assists and goals, surely why am I always at the front? Little Andy Robbo, surely he's on there.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Little Andy Robertson.
Yeah.
Of course.
11 goals.
Yeah.
And 60 assists puts him fourth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Fourth.
Interesting. Okay.
For little Andy Robertson. Love him.
God, he's fantastic, isn't he?
I've really been thrown by John McGinn not being there, and it's made me quite worried about my thoughts here. I feel like I'm going to name an Irishman in a minute and really embarrass myself.
I can't, with the exception of Andy Robertson, I can't think of that many prolific Scottish Premier League players of recent years.
Wow.
Am I doing myself a disservice there? Big Scottish boys.
There's a couple of lads here that have definitely been in the Premier League within the last 5 years.
Okay, interesting.
But I will also give you the mega hint of quite a few of these. I would say more prolific 90s, noughties, early 10s.
Okay, that again, that makes a little bit more sense.
So this is a real ball knowledge test
of what I lack.
Scottish men.
Yeah,
Just name some Scottish men. I mean, clearly, I mean, if we're thinking Scottish men from kind of like the noughties, early 2010s, I know he was only there for a year, but Barry Bannon surely must have got 100 Premier League goals. He didn't, and that's not a legitimate answer, I promise.
Oh, okay.
But it should have been. It should have been.
So the website that I'm using, I need to pay to see far enough down on the list to see what Barry Bannon ranks.
I'm going to guess that might have been a live.
I don't think he did much at all during his brief Premier League tenure. He was saving it all for us.
From the point of conferring,
we can confer. We can
You
talk.
can confer.
I'd lean on longevity of maybe a Darren Fletcher. Goal involvement throws me of being
Fletcher's
confident on
not
that one.
again. Darren Fletcher's a really good shout because again, you're right. Played under Fergie, there forever.
Not confident. We'll put it in. We'll put it in.
Yeah, chuck him in there.
West Bromwich Albion icon Darren Fletcher is 9th on the list. 23 goals, 27 assists.
Okay, so there's 50. That was it?
That was 50.
Right. Okay. And so there's someone between that and it was 47. Was it? Did you say
47 for McGinn?
I'm thinking. I know he's bounced up and down a lot, and he wouldn't be. This is conferring now, Devils. What about Scottish Che Adams? Because has he scored enough to get him in or around?
I can't. Yeah, I'm not sure of the differentiation between Prem and not.
Yeah.
Recent, I'm thrown off by in the last 5 years. There's only. Is he one of them?
There's not many. Yeah, we're having to go. We're having to go back here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking prolific Scottish. Oh, Big Dunk. Surely Big Dunk's on there.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, Big Dunk's on there.
Big Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah.
Yes, 68 goals and 24 assists, second on the list, Duncan Ferguson.
Big Duncan Ferguson.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Big Dunk.
There's
so we
Big
have
Dunk.
2, 4,
2, 4, and 9.
2, 4, and 9.
One?
Okay, who scored more, assisted more than large Duncan?
We're missing someone.
Scottish.
We're missing several.
We're missing several. Missing 7,
there's
as is my count here. Okie dokie. So big Scottish lads. Obviously you got Big Dunk. Okay, going back to that kind of era, all I can think is Colin Hendry, but again, he scored about 3 goals and is definitely not on that list. But I can still picture him getting dinked by Gaza in Euro 96, so that helps me. Prolific Scottish players from the Premier League.
I'm trying to think of
and assists.
Early 2000s strikers.
I will say this: if we really start to struggle, I will happily give you some hints for players, because because I'm not evil.
Because we're not giving off an aura of confidence, I feel.
No, it's more a case of just we want to go to bed at some point.
Yeah.
At some
we're
point,
not starting the 24-hour, no.
Starting it now.
I'm mid 24-hour stream now. No, it's really not coming to me. I'm really struggling with it. I love this question, but it's just
I do. I'm blank of all Scottish names right now.
See, Kenny Dalglish is far too early.
Yeah.
So I can't say King Kenny. Aside from that,
I can't even think of prolific in the current squad.
chuck us out a little clue for one of these, Dick.
Yeah,
chuck
I
us
think
out,
so.
Chuck us out a little, break us off a little.
Maybe for number one.
You want a clue for number one? Okay. They are very much retired. They last played in the Premier League in 2002. They are, for me, were most prevalent playing at a very recently, as in this season confirmed, back in the Premier League side. Played for them for a long time.
Scottish striker at Cov.
Didn't say Scottish. Sorry, didn't say striker.
Oh, Scottish. Oh.
But some would maybe say maybe had a little bit more fun in playing in Yorkshire or Merseyside.
Oh, Strachan. No, not Gordon Strachan.
Wouldn't have been a name I would have put.
No, my brain's gone completely the wrong direction there. I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about because of Mad's databases. I know exactly who you're talking about. And it's not Gordon Strachan. It's definitely not Gordon Strachan, but it's somebody who's moved into management, which is why my brain is screaming Gordon Strachan at me.
Moved into management. I'm at a loss.
Management-wise, they have managed they've managed 3 clubs, 2 of which they've played for, and their most recent appointment was as a caretaker manager for Aston Villa in 2011.
Oh, why is this name not? He was very small.
On you here, Rich. I'm not covering myself with glory here.
No, I'm having an absolute stinker here because I can see them. I can see them in Mad's database. I can see their wild array of very, very low attributes combined with world-class attributes because of their age and the fact they had no physicals, but their mentals and their technicals were unbelievably good. And my brain is going, just say Gordon Strachan, Richard. It's Gordon Strachan, but it's obviously not Gordon Strachan.
It's definitely not Gordon Strachan.
It's definitely
I've been struggling to shake Ryan Fraser, so I wouldn't worry. At least Strachan's better than that.
Which name did you say?
I said Ryan Fraser.
Ryan Fraser. It's not Ryan Fraser.
Ryan Fraser is number 10, so I'm going to use that as a guess.
Ryan Fraser number 10? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And the most recently active player in the Premier League.
That's been there. I thought that John McGinn not making it. Ryan Fraser is, well.
49. I think Ryan Fraser's maybe... Actually, no, John McGinn's had more appearances. But I'm guessing because he plays further up the pitch than he's a winger, so he gets the assist. So you've got 2, 4, 9 and 10. I can hear typing, which tells me someone's Googling Scottish. No. You better not be.
I promise you I'm not Googling. I've had my...
number 1 made 57 appearances for Scotland.
Sorry, this is still number 1.
Yeah, still working out number 1.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got it, have we, sir?
We've definitely not got it. I'll tell you exactly what I had there, Dee, for transparency. This came up last week. I have my weekly did I remember to press record moment of the podcast. So, and very much in the same way that I know I locked my car when I got home today, but I'm now panicking. Did I lock my car? I definitely pressed record on the podcast, but then an hour and a half in, I'm like, did I press record on the podcast? No, none of these are coming to me. I know I'm going to kick myself when I hear so many of these names.
I'm going to really narrow it down for you. This player played for Leeds, Coventry, and Liverpool.
I know exactly who it is. I just can't remember their name, and it's really, really frustrating me.
Leeds,
and I hate myself.
Scottish.
2002.
From 92-93 season up to 2002.
And they've managed 2 of those clubs.
And they have managed Coventry City as a player coach, I believe, at the end of their career.
At the end of their
career. They managed
career.
Leeds in 2008.
Leeds in 2008. So that's lower league Leeds.
This player was born in Motherwell on Christmas Day.
She's fine, thank you.
He was a Christmas Day baby.
He's a Christmas Day baby.
Oh, of course. No, that hasn't gave me it.
If that was what got it for you, that would have been wonderful.
Yeah.
He's 6'1".
He's 6'1". He's not little, and I'm thinking of the wrong person. Is it Gary Pallister? Who's not Scottish? So what is he? Oh, Gary Pallister's Scottish.
Yeah, I would have said so.
It's not Gary Pallister, but is Gary Pallister on the list?
I'm going to say this. You're very close, but it's not Gary Pallister. Sounds like Pallister, not quite Pallister.
Is it Alistair? Is
now just make that name so Scottish. What would one add to that surname?
Muck, I'm gonna guess.
Gary McAllister.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not 96. A name I've kicked myself with, but number 1 actually, to be honest.
Oh my goodness. I apologise to everyone screaming Gary McAllister at me. And that's what I meant to say when I said Gary Pallister. God, it's been a long day. I wish I hadn't done that 24-hour stream yesterday. I've got all of these. Right. I think I don't think we're getting any of these, so I'm just going to say a wrong answer just so we get rid of a life. Graham Dorrans, D. Is Graham Dorrans on there by any chance?
He's not, but one of his teammates is. Graham Dorrans, ex-West Brom. An ex-West Brom player is in this list.
Oh, goodness.
And for help, maybe a non-footballing help, shares his name with a acoustic singer-songwriter who will give you something. He says a song called You Give Me Something.
Oh, it was James Morrison.
Oh,
is he on there?
Good
He's
shout.
number 7, mate.
Good
He's
shout,
number 7.
yeah.
He's in at number 7.
64. 64
Wow.
Lane.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. I'm not getting any more of these. I think I'm going to tap out AY. So I'm also going to say Zoltan Gira. Is he on there?
Oh,
He's number 12, isn't he?
Scotland's favourite son.
Scotland's.
No, he's good old Zoltan.
Is there any current players that we're missing?
No.
No. Are these all the very non-current?
These are now all retired or... in fact, yeah, I'm pretty confident all of these lads are retired. Number 3, Kevin Gallagher.
No, would never have got Kevin.
Of Blackburn fame.
Never made it in Oasis. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got Stephen Fletcher.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, that one makes sense.
In at number 5 with 65. Don Hutchinson. I don't know who that is. No. Early seasons, apparently. Played for some teams. You got Mozza. And then the other name that you were missing... Blackpool legend, Liverpool legend,
Charlie Adam,
Stoke City legend, Charlie Adam, chipping Thibaut Courtois from the halfway line.
Put football wherever he wants. If you listen to Peter Crouch,
he can.
What a guy!
He can. The recipient of the world's hardest paper round. Because my goodness gracious me, he's got some miles on him facially. But what a boy! And apparently,
that's a kick myself one.
According to other podcasts, 11 of him could beat 11 Pelés. And yeah, I'm in. Sold. Yeah.
Probably in a scrap. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not sure I'd back him in goal, but yeah.
He was little.
He was a very small man. Honestly, Stephen Fletcher surprises me. It was a great question. I'm a little bit annoyed that I didn't pluck that one out because, of course, Wednesday. But
Charlie Adam, I'm frustrated with the rest.
Charlie Adam,
a little bit over my head.
And according to me,
the follow up now to it is how many of them have been involved in 5+ goal difference games.
Oh my goodness!
I have them all.
Yeah, I've got them all written down here.
Yeah.
Gary Pallister definitely has.
Charlie Adam probably on the receiving end of one.
Wasn't involved in that one.
Zoltan's never done it.
No, Zoltan's never managed it. But one day, maybe one day.
Well, we are terrible at Tenable.
We are terrible at Tenable. We really are. But the alliteration is divine.
Warwick Davis' finest.
It really is. It really is. You know what? They say that they say that sometimes the FIFA YouTubing leaves you, but it never leaves you because it's all alliteration. If it's a FIFA YouTube series, it's alliteration based in some way, shape, or form. Often unnecessarily. Bless them. Josh, just before we start to wrap things up, buddy. Just before we start to wrap things up, I know you, in terms of prep, we did mention a few little bits of prep. Have you got a question for us? As we often like to ask our guests towards the end of a podcast, is there anything you would like to ask us collectively, individually? We'll answer.
I do indeed, and it's one that I have an answer from both of you separately, so separate and collective. It's my question when I was trying to think of one, I was thinking Football Manager related. Really, we're still quite new to it. I, of course, have not completely caught up in everyone's history of Football Manager. So I feel like the overarching feel of this year's game is there's been a bit of issue around immersion and things like that with this year's game. So from both of you, what would you say has been your best ever Football Manager save in sense of being fully immersed and what you've enjoyed the most and really got stuck into?
Mine is very easy, and it is Rochdale from FM23.
Aston Anson.
Managing Rochdale, they had no trophies, so I decided I would give them every trophy. And it took 19 seasons. We did it. I have a framed Rochdale shirt right there with my name on the back because I paid for it. I should be allowed to do that. Yeah, that is the most immersed I've been in the story of a team. Yeah. And I was going to say to you earlier, because I think Edinburgh, they've already been relegated now. Are they already out? They're already confirmed for relegation, or are they
playoffs in the sense of they'll be playing the top of the Highland Lowland League, so they have to win that to stay up.
If you can, try and time your first Scottish Premiership win with the same day that they get relegated, because that's exactly what I did with Rochdale. They're like the day, like, oh, we won it, we won the Premier League for the first time, and they're like, oh, let's see how they did in real life. They're in the National League. Great. Yeah. Good. Well, forget it. It's just like
I won't at them on that tweet. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, that one definitely for me was my my most immersive one.
I see. Love that. For me, it would either have to be, I think, what I'm currently doing on FM26, because I'm having probably the way that I measure my enjoyment of an FM save is how much I think about it when I'm not playing the game.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing press conferences in the car between my kids' primary school and the school that I work at most mornings. So I face the press most mornings on those journeys. Which is, they're giving me a very difficult. I won't name names, but somebody from the Times is giving me a pretty hard time at the moment, so he can get in the bin. But no, just because I think the level of enjoyment I've got from what I'm doing this year spawned off the back of a completely throwaway bit on this podcast. It's brought me loads of joy. I think it genuinely has. I'm really, really enjoying it, and there have been moments where I've thought to myself, "Oh, wouldn't it be brilliant if we finished all of our goals and we got to move on to the next club?" And then it doesn't happen. Secretly, I'm like, "Good, let's go again. Yeah. Let's give this another go." So just to get a bit more out of it, that's been brilliant. And then aside from that, would be, and this isn't saying I'm not having loads of fun with the current iteration, but the original FMT network save. So that started with Jeb and Kev and Alice, and then over the next few years, kind of, we lost Alice and we lost Kev, but then we brought in D and we brought in Stakey. That in and of itself was a very different experience, network saves and playing with friends. But for the sheer levels of joy that it brought me, and the transfers and kind of the things that were happening behind the scenes, Jeb bidding £300 million for Victor Osimhen every other week just to keep him away from me. And then even with the current save, certain podcast co-host putting in loan bids for my favourite player on FM26, and then just not signing him.
Look, Rich,
great moments.
You have an unhealthy addiction to a 19-year-old Slovenian. I'm trying to help you, okay?
Crazy without context.
You have spent cumulatively £400 million on this single player in 2 games. Stop it.
No.
Immersion, no. If I've ever heard it.
I won't. Exactly. But no, both of those wonderful saves. And again, the amount of time I spent thinking about them outside of the streams and outside of playing with the guys. Yeah, those two for me, 100% nailed on. Wonderful experiences, both for different reasons. But yes, the immersion will stay with me forever, I think, from both of those saves. Wonderful stuffs.
And that's exactly what I wanted to hear, really. I know it's sort of improved since sort of updates and things, and it seems like the pendulum swung a little bit more towards positive with this Football Manager. But that was what I saw largely online, was what people sort of struggled with, those that play a lot of Football Manager and those that were new to it, the immersion. But it's stories like that. That, as I said, that's what really got me into this, and really the position now of really enjoying it was seeing stories, as you've said, but even sort of current ones now, where people really sort of not just play the game, it's the fact of getting sold in a story, and that's what I love about it and what I'll continue to try and do.
Love that. Absolutely love that. And yeah, you're right. I think it's one of the things that we did an episode about this last week about, we did the mid-season review, and we talked about things like immersion and people's kind of feelings towards it early doors. Isn't it interesting how there probably is correlation between less people shouting about how bad the game is and more people starting to pick up the game and enjoy it a little bit more? Because I don't think we sort of said last week, it's not a massively different game to what we were given early doors.
No.
Like, absolutely there have been improvements. Yes, there have. But it's still, at its very core, regardless of the presentation, regardless of the UI, regardless of anything else with it, it's still Football Manager. And you can still pick, a team playing in the third tier of Denmark, and then find yourself 2 months later booking a plane ticket over there, going off to see that. Like, you can still do that with Yes, you absolutely can.
At the start and end of the same season, so I got to see them win the promotion. It was
brilliant.
You can do that. Football that is still Football Manager at its essence. It's still about discovering new clubs, new saves, new players that you're going to fall in love with, and you're going to maintain an interest in them for indefinite periods of time. That is what Football Manager is all about. It's the stories, and you can still use FM26 as a really, really good platform for telling those stories and building those narratives and having those adventures. You can still do it. The AI just looks different the UI looks different to how it did in FM24. But at its core, it is still Football Manager, and it's still great.
Completely agree.
Good. Happy days. Gentlemen, that feels very much to me like a podcast. Don't know about the two of you, but it feels quite podsy to me.
It felt very poddy.
I feel podded.
Yeah, feel like we've podded successfully. This is the point where we would normally start to plug ourselves, Josh. But again, as our guest, the floor is yours. If people have been listening to this podcast and thinking to themselves, this guy sounds pretty great, we'd like to see more of him, where can people find you?
Well, thank you very much for opening the floor. So, as I said at the start, I go by Ay1ward pretty much everywhere I try to anyway. So that's Twitch, and then Twitch is the main part. I try and stream 4 times a week. So Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you'll find me trying to win anything in Scotland. That's where I spend most of my time. But I do also have a couple of saves going on YouTube as well. So that's the same, but just with YT on the end. And I'm still quite angry at the man that took Ay1ward before me. He hasn't used that account in many a year, and he didn't reply to my DM. So it's Ay1ward with a YT on the end, and then all places like X and all of those things. But the most of it are on the stream. So Ay1ward is where you'll find this man, probably giving a bird quiz, but pretending to play Football Manager.
Amazing. The guy that owns Ay1ward on YouTube, if you're watching this, call us. We'll have a conversation.
We're coming for you.
We're gonna come round your house, and we're gonna really politely ask you.
We have a very particular set of skills.
We have a very particular set of skills.
Although not a knowledge of Scottish footballers.
But I don't need that. For what we're going to do to you, owner of Ay1ward on YouTube, we're going to find you. We're going to really politely and consistently ask you to do the right thing, and we're going to respect. And we are going to respect your decision either way. Yeah.
Just
That's
reply.
What we're gonna do.
Just reply, please.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. You heard. Good. D, when we're not threatening strangers on podcasts, where can people find you?
Sorry, I'm really into this idea of me really
quite intense.
This. Yeah, I know. If you don't want to see me threatening people on the internet, you can check out my Twitch chat where I just roast people instead, which is twitch.tv/dboyplays. What about you, Rich?
Twitch.tv/RichOwensFM is where you can find me. Come hang, or don't. Can't make you. Not your dad. It's good though. There we go. That's me. Plugs done. Josh, thank you so much for coming and hang out with us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been lovely to have you on the podcast, and
what a treat.
I'm sure this won't be the last time we ever see you. It's been
Fingers crossed.
lovely. Yeah, fingers
No,
crossed.
thank you very much for having me. I've really enjoyed the conversation. But yeah, as I said when we were talking at the start, I just really appreciated the offer. Thank you.
Oh, absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. Lovely to have you. D, a pleasure as always. Thank you both for hanging out with me this evening, and also thank you, the audience, for listening, for watching, however you are consuming this podcast. You're great. Really appreciate you. We really like what you've done with your hair recently as well. Really suits you. God, you look pretty. That very much wraps it up for another episode of Football Manager Therapy. We will see you on the next one, but until then, take care. Love you lots. Josh, do you want to say bye?
Bye, everyone.
Yeah!
Hey everybody, it's me, Cupbeat. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I tried for a little while. Hey, you know Cupburger. It's a mutual aid fund created by us for us to take care of our needs. Folks have been applying for grants, getting paid out. Folks have been donating, giving us money every month. We're so grateful. This has been really cool work, and we've met a lot of need already. However, there are some projects that we've been wanting to address that are above our monthly cap allowance. So we've created special projects, and we're launching special projects. If you have a need that is more than our monthly allowance, get in touch. Admins will get in touch with you. We can help you set up a GoFundMe, and Cupburger will be paying out up to 50%. So these are just burgers that look like, anyway, don't get distracted. Up to 50% of our income every month will be paid out to special projects who we have partnered with until those projects' needs are met. Meaning, you may see new chat commands in chat that tell you to go direct to a GoFundMe if you want to give someone money. That's because they're a Cupburger partner, and Cupburger is working with them to fulfill their crowdsourcing needs. Special projects, now a part of Cupburger. Give money. Apply. Cupburger. Have a great day. Bye.